said your vision isn't hazy, then who do you see? When you're lying there all alone, are you thinking of me, baby? Even though I wouldn't say it, you stay in my heart some kind of way. And I know no one's gonna love you. No one's gonna love you. I can't even be exact on when did you leave. I can only speak for myself. Now it feels to me. When you're lying there all alone, are you thinking of me, baby? Even though you won't admit it, I stay in your heart some kind of way. 'Cause I know no one's gonna love you.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Love and Hips TV.
Yes. Welcome. I hope that your weekend was as great as ours.
Yes,
It
honey.
was. It was.
We had a fabulous
A
one.
ball.
Yes, we did.
We're going to tell you all about that coming up on the show. We actually have a really great show for you all today. Still want to go ahead and give a shout out to Jazztopia for our great song.
Thank
Like
you.
I
Yes.
Love You. Thank
Love
you. It
it.
is such a
Thank you.
beautiful
It's
song.
great.
You guys
So,
probably caught me
thank
jamming
you.
to it. Oh,
Yes,
my God.
honey.
Right.
It's got a nice groove to it. So yeah, so that's our song. Thank you, Jazztopia out of Detroit, Michigan. The Dirty D.
The D.
Oh, so our show today, we are going to be talking to the Charge Up campaign, ambassadors and breast cancer survivors.
Yes.
Of course, everyone knows that it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and we definitely want to shed light on that. And Love and Hips Cares wants to let you know that we do care, and that we are want you all to be aware of the things that you need to do to be proactive in your own health care. So they're going to be on the show, and then we're also going to be talking about our Nashville getaway.
We had so much fun.
We had a good time. So we're sure that will lift everyone's spirits to talk about and see us in action. We had a good time while we were there. So
It wasn't long enough.
It was.
it was
Very short.
Yeah, we need like another day.
it was
Yeah.
short.
One more.
Us ladies, we done put the work in, honey.
Oh,
We've
wow.
been on the move
All
this
for you
weekend.
guys.
All for you
All
all.
for you guys.
It was bonding at its finest.
Yes.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Totally that.
It was.
Triple time.
It was a much needed though relaxation. You know, sometimes you got to let your hair down, and
And
just
we
get
fine.
out there and just do that. After you work hard, you got to play hard.
That's right.
Right.
Talk
Yeah.
about work. I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Yeah,
Oh, me too.
I
Oh,
know,
my
right?
goodness.
The weekend is like,
But I love my job, so it's fine.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we just want to go ahead and give our shout out to Miss Pam
Pam.
from ABS
Yes.
Fine Arts
Yes.
and Apparel.
Hi, Miss Pam.
Thank you for our great looks. She keeps us looking fabulous.
Thank you, Miss Pam.
Yes, I'm loving it.
From head to
I am
toe.
loving my
Yes.
outfit. It is just amazing.
I love my.
It's
my
beautiful.
outfit, My curves.
Thank you so much.
She
She
always.
love.
She always has something for me.
She
honey.
knows how to do the love and the hips.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
does. She done figured that thing out, honey.
Absolutely. Thank you, Miss Pam.
Thank you.
Love you.
ABS
Love you
Fine
more.
Art and Apparel. You all go check her out online, and,
That's right.
and she'll get you together.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
So, ladies,
Yes,
What we
ma'am.
got going on, girl?
sure.
We
We got a
so
lot
much.
going on.
Right.
But we're going to talk about it after our commercial break, okay?
All
Stay
right.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Don't go nowhere.
coming up on the next Loving Hips. So y'all caught me right there. Mouth wide open.
She's ready for some love.
Delivering some good news, honey.
I swear these ladies.
Yes, get ready.
These ladies is always getting me in a heck of a pose. They catch me all the time.
Every time.
Y'all got to see one of my faces.
Mouth wide
one
open.
of my many faces.
If we had meals for every
I can't.
I'm telling you, I got some faces for y'all. But
Okay.
we are going to go ahead and welcome the ladies of the Charge Up campaign to the show.
All right.
All right. So we are anxious to talk to them and talk about their lives and the things that that they've been through as breast cancer survivors and just anxious to
Just hear that story.
just hear their story.
Yeah.
Right.
It's quite a story. They go through a lot in that process, and these ladies have survived all of that. So we are anxious to talk to them and get it going. So it'll be just a moment, and they will be with us. But in the meantime,
That's right.
you want to touch on some of it about how you feel about breast cancer awareness and.
Oh, guys, it's such a touchy, topic.
It
You
is.
know,
So
I
serious.
have had aunts. Currently my sister, my biological sister, she has conquered 1 year
Good
of
job.
cancer.
All
She
right.
has done her 12 rounds of chemo,
Yes.
Right.
and she is living her life. She's not letting it stop her.
That's right.
And she's also being an advocate for other women, such
That's
as
great.
us, and she's doing mentoring programs
Awesome.
and doing
Awesome.
speaking engagements, which is very important.
It
Because
is.
you want that buddy system. You
Yeah.
want that sister check-in.
It
Yes.
is. And it's amazing because those ladies, they build a bond together.
It does.
A lot of times they get to join these support groups and they just form a sisterhood.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
And
support
And
system.
they proactive in the community and helping people be aware of what's going on
Right.
with them, and
Right.
they're real transparent with their lives. So good kudos to them for that.
Shout out to my sister Pam.
Hey, Pam.
Yeah, going through stuff like that, you need that sister.
You
Yeah,
need
you
that.
do.
You need that support.
Right. You need
You
the
never want to go through nothing like that alone.
I'm going to tell you what a doctor has
Right.
told me. He says that family, a support system, is part of your healing process.
Right.
That's
It
right.
is.
It's, believe it or not,
Love.
it's a part of your healing process.
need that
love
love.
can heal.
Love
It
can
can.
heal.
It most certainly can and will.
It
all
sure
the
will.
time.
Right.
If
And
you
also,
believe it.
I
Yeah.
want to touch on, speaking of sister check-ins and buddy checks, grab a sister, go and get, checked.
Yeah.
Get your mammograms together. Say, hey sis, I got my mammogram on this day, come with me and, I'll come with you.
That's right.
Or, hey, during that week, do your
due diligence.
best
Yeah.
your breast exam,
Mhm.
at home.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Go in circular motion, enter from outer.
Yeah.
That's right. All right.
And,
Check for any lumps that was
Self-checks,
not
yeah.
there.
You gotta do
That's
self-checks
Breast
too.
exam.
Yeah.
Check for any lumps that was not there. There's discharge.
That's right.
There's oranges color on the side.
Soreness.
Drainage.
That's right.
That's good
extreme
to know.
Swelling as well.
That's right. Especially for my sisters 35 and up.
You're right.
Oh,
Almost
yes.
40.
Definitely. And especially if
Definitely.
you have a history of breast cancer. in your
Yes.
family.
Right.
Family
It's
history.
very, very important to
Yeah.
follow suit. It runs
Always-
in families.
Absolutely.
It's
It does.
It
genetic.
does.
You know.
Always know
Does.
that.
And let me tell you, the doctors may say 35 and up, but breast cancer is coming into mid-20s.
It's
It is.
It is.
It's
And
coming
you have
early.
that right. I want to let you know, you have that right, even if you're in your 20s, to go get checked, because you may have someone in your family,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
like guys said, it runs in the family.
It
It can be
does.
hereditary.
And we also want to put it out there that it's not just a female disease. It's
Right,
not.
males.
Men have breast
Men
cancer
have it
too.
too.
Right.
They have breast cancer
Oh,
too.
wow.
Their breasts don't form like us,
right.
but they still can develop breast cancer in their area, in their breast area, chest area. So there's a lot of male breast cancer survivors too out there. So kudos to them too, because they have to go through that same struggle and that
That's
same
right.
process.
That's right.
Our breasts as women are near and dear to us. They're our girlfriends.
Yes, it is.
So they are our girlfriends.
Yes.
So for us to go through the process of having a mastectomy and having to have a lumpectomy, sometimes it feels like you're taking my womanhood away from
That's
me.
right.
So that's what we're gonna talk about with some of the ladies that have had to go through that. And oftentimes a lot of them get the reconstructive.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Reconstructing.
Yeah.
No,
But,
that's the best part. Because you
Yeah.
get the boobs that you never had before. Like, I want these boobs, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So-
and
they're
they're
perfect.
done. Yeah, okay. They're perfect. They're not,
Oh, perky.
We are looking for our ladies.
Yes, ladies, where are you guys?
Where are our guests?
Oh my goodness.
Don't
They're
be-
gathering
they're-
some
don't be
information
shy.
They're
for
holding
you
up.
guys.
They're holding our guests up.
They got
They're
materials
ready.
for you guys to know about
Signing
websites.
autographs.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So yes.
They doing a
Yes.
lot. It's good. They
They have
deserve
been
it.
around.
They have.
They have.
Wow. I was letting one of the ladies know of the campaign that they have a night where they take care of the caregivers.
Okay.
Because
But they deserve
caregivers can be such a strain. And I was like, I wish I had that. Because my mother, as you ladies
Right.
know, may not know, but my mother passed away from stage 4 lung cancer last year.
Right.
So that was a lot of, strain, on me taking care of her. I'm the only child. I
That's
wish
the hard part.
I wish I had that outlet, like Charge Up campaign, where someone's like,
Yeah.
what? Come on, let's go bowling, let's go movie night.
Yeah.
Support.
You know?
Again, that support system.
Yeah, support system.
Yeah.
That's
So,
very important.
I mean, you can still enjoy your life, You just have to enjoy
Absolutely.
yourself and just live your best life, basically. Even if you do have
right.
cancer or something, like, you just have to live day by day,
Yeah.
and enjoy it. And there's a lot of people that, they're happy about their life, but they just they keep going. And that what keeps them going. Because if you're depressed about it and you're just, sad about what you have, it just gets you in that mood where
That's
you're
right.
just sad. It brings you down, So you
It
have to
does.
just always keep going
Yes.
and enjoy your life.
that's right. Enjoy
Enjoy it, honey. Live your
Yes.
life to the
To the
fullest.
fullest.
Live your life.
Because you don't never know what's
Yes.
going to happen to you from one day to the next day.
I know
You just
it.
got to pray about it and
Yes.
keep it moving.
We're
Keep
getting
it-
our
keep
guests
it
in here,
pushing
guys.
And live your
We
best.
have our guests.
Trickling
They
down.
are coming in
Birdie
here now.
and their pink.
The ladies are here. So.
Yeah.
They're getting situated and set up.
Yes.
I can't wait to talk to you,
I
beautiful
know.
ladies.
Hey, guys.
Good seeing you. Get you all set up here in a few minutes. Yeah, but while we're waiting, again, we're just recapping everything of going over breast cancer awareness and knowing your signs and
Yeah.
the support.
Doing your
system from
checks
your
and everything.
sister.
Yes.
Do your sisterhood
Do your
check-in.
sister check.
Do your sister
If
check.
your sister don't want to check, then you check.
Right, okay.
Let me love on you. Come here, girl. Let me check. Come here, girl.
Yeah. Just don't get killed while you're doing it.
Right. I don't mean no harm, but come on.
Come here.
This lock don't feel like it was here yesterday.
Look.
Okay.
But hold your hand up, just a little higher.
Just a little higher.
Now you got to go like this.
Right.
And then go here. And then go here. Lay
Don't hit me
down.
now, but
Oh, jeez.
So we are ready to talk
Just
to
do it on
our
your friends, not some
ladies.
random people.
No, not random people.
Yeah.
let's go.
All right. So we have the Charge Up campaign ladies in the building. Hello, everyone.
Hey, ladies. How you guys doing?
Hey, so we're just gonna go in order from you on down. Just introduce yourself. Tell what your role is with the Charge Up campaign. And if you're a breast cancer survivor, then tell us how long you've been in remission or how long you've been in the process.
Okay, so my name is Teresa Sawyer. I'm the founder of Charge Up Campaign.
Okay.
And I started because my mom is a breast cancer survivor and my auntie as well went through it. So I started so that I can support the community by charging them up and bringing more smiles and really talk about the person opposed to just the cancer.
Okay.
Right, awesome. Next.
Hi, good evening. My name is Shaquita Estes, and I am 44, was diagnosed at 43 with triple negative breast cancer. I also have infiltrating ductal carcinoma is the real name there. But triple negative is a very aggressive cancer, and so we had to move fast. So I am really celebrating only a year, so I'm a baby of the group here.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes, so
All
just
right.
finished oral chemo on yesterday, and it definitely has been a challenging year, but God is good, and I'm just blessed to be here.
All right.
Yes,
Right.
amen.
Glad to
Yes.
have you.
Yes.
Okay, good evening. I'm Charlisa Harriet, and I am not a breast cancer survivor. Mine is of a rare form called thymoma, and that's a rare form of cancer of the thymus, in which it has affected. I was originally diagnosed back in 2007, and I was clean and going well until December 2016 when it reoccurred. So I've been on the battlefield from since then, still currently now, and but I'm winning.
There you go.
So I'm continuing the fight, and I am winning. So I call myself the crushing chemo chick.
I love it. I love it.
Well, hello, ladies.
Hello.
My name is Lavon Conde, and I am a 2-year thriver of triple negative breast cancer as well. I also have the what they call the BRCA2 positive gene. So I have the genetic mutation that only about 15% of breast cancer patients get, which puts me at a high risk of a lot of other types of cancer, unfortunately. So my journey has been 2 years. November 20th will be the exact 2-year date since I began. And I am officially in remission, cancer-free as of 1 month and a half ago.
All right. To all of you
That's a
ladies.
blessing.
Yes.
Yes, honey.
It's such an honor to meet and talk to y'all so much.
Yes.
It is.
So, through the process, have all of you all went through chemo or some form of chemotherapy?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That takes a toll on the body.
Oh, yes.
You know, how often or how frequent does I'm assuming it varies from person to person on how often you have to have your treatments, but you know, is it something that you have it and then you're able to recuperate and get back to your normal self before you actually have to go have another treatment, or is it aggressive to the point where you have to have it so often you don't get back to that normalcy? If does that make any sense?
Yes.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
I mean, I can say for me, personally, I went every other week. So I did 6 months of chemotherapy. And then 33 long days of radiation.
Oh, wow.
And then the 4 months of oral chemo. So chemo, and luckily my job just worked with me, but I would go to chemo on Wednesday and then have Thursday, Friday, Saturday to recuperate and back to work on Monday. So I don't think you ever truly get back to your normal. I like to call it my new normal.
New normal.
So you find a new normalcy.
We
after
got
you
to
do
embrace a new
chemo.
normal sometimes.
Yeah. And it's just very hard on your body, just in general. Fatigue, you know, other things, signs and symptoms that you go through, bladder issues, hair loss.
That's a struggle,
you know,
that hair loss.
turning your nails and toenails to different colors. So there are just a number of different things that everybody's journey is probably a little bit different, but some the same. But those are some general things.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing.
I would say for me, when I started with chemotherapy back in 2007, I did it for like 3 months, and I did it while I was working. So I would have chemotherapy on a Friday, and then I would recoup and back to work on that Monday. And to be honest, I was by the grace of God that I had the energy. So it didn't affect me in that sense of where I didn't have much energy, but I just regained the energy back to start back work on Monday. Going through the second time, I've been doing chemotherapy for almost 2 years, and it was weekly. So I just finished up that round, and even for this one this time, I still have the energy, that worked with me. So it's God's grace, I've been really blessed, really blessed.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. So for me, it took me out. So literally from when I started chemotherapy in December of 2017, and that ran till the end of April 2018, I had weekly chemo, and my cancer was really aggressive. So they flip-flopped me. So they gave me the extra hard stuff first, where with a lot of patients they build up to the hard stuff. So they gave me like the wham right away. So I lost my hair second treatment, like my lashes, my brows, everything were gone by like 3 weeks in. I was blank face. And you talk about lack of energy, and the irony with me was I was planning on doing what these two young ladies did, and what ended up happening with me, I called to, arrange intermittent FMLA, and my rep said, "No, ma'am. No, you won't. You will be going out on short-term disability because your life is more important than this job."
That's
And
right.
she said,
That's
"This job will
That's
be
right.
here.
It's gonna be
If
there.
it's meant to be here, it will
will
be
be
here."
there.
Right.
She
And
said,
if it's not,
and
it's
if it's not-
another opportunity.
And it wasn't.
to rise.
I'll be honest, it wasn't. We were going through a reorg, so it was a big decision for me to do that because I kind of knew, I would be the first probably to go, or my position eliminated in the reorg because I wasn't there. I'm not visible. I'm not present, and it did concern me. But in the end, at the end of the day, I can honestly say it worked out to my good. God is a good God,
Right.
and I mean, the journey I went through, there was absolutely no way that I would have been able to work. And had I been attempting it, I would have probably gotten terminated versus laid off with a package.
Right.
So it's a big difference in what you think may be the best case scenario for you and what God puts in front of you and says, no, this is the walk you're going to take. Because my intention was not what they followed through with and what my generalist said. No, I'm putting you on STD today. And I have not worked since that day, November 20th, 2017.
Look at God.
Good God.
Look at it.
She's still thriving.
And
That's
still
right.
okay.
It looks beautiful.
That's right.
Looks beautiful.
Won't he do it?
Won't he do
Won't he
it?
do
Will he
it?
won't? You had something that you wanted to ask the lady.
I wanted to know, I hear each of you speak about your chemotherapy. Was there ever an option for immunotherapy for you guys?
Well, for our triple negatives, no.
Okay.
It doesn't, because we don't have the hormone receptors. We're
Okay.
negative for all of those HR and hormone receptor positive cancers that can have immunotherapy. So unfortunately for triple negatives, we have 3 options. We have radiation, chemotherapy, and surgery. And now there are several clinical trials happening.
Okay.
So both myself and Chiquita were able to go through what the Zolota clinical trial, which is the oral chemotherapy.
Okay.
So I think, truthfully for me, I think that actually got me to my remission point. Because prior to starting the Zolota trial, what they call tumor markers, you take blood tests and all of that. My tumor markers were off the charts.
Oh, wow.
From the time I finished chemo initially in my first round of chemo to right before I started the Zolota trial drug, my tumor markers didn't look good. It looked like it was, in a lot of other places, the number wasn't looking right. So by the end of that, I got no evidence of disease. So I do believe that that trial actually saved my life.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing.
What was the, go ahead.
No, I was going to say for immunotherapy, it was an option for me, but I didn't qualify because of the rare form of cancer that I have, and it's not much research back there to really state the success rate.
Tell us
to go through.
what your form of cancer is one more time. I just want to reiterate that to the public, because a lot of people just think of breast, this.
Right.
But there's a whole lot going on inside of there that you can develop cancer in other places as well. So tell me about that.
It was actually of the thymus, and the thymus is right there in the chest wall cavity. With mine, it actually affected my right lung. So when I had surgery, they had to remove my entire right lung. So I have one lung.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
It's an extensive surgery.
extensive. At the time, they were the largest tumor. I had the largest tumor that there was in 2007 for the whole southeastern part of the United States.
Oh, wow.
And so the surgeon that, performed the surgery, it was a matter of him just going just based on the knowledge that, God had given him.
That's right.
And they really didn't think that I was going to survive the actual surgery. So once it happened, because at the time I had it at St. Joe's, and you're talking about afterwards, I had everyone that's coming in the room wanted to see who is this person. Like,
You
did
should
she
have told her to
make
put an
it?
S on your chest when they get finished, honey, for Superwoman, because you did that.
She's been signing autographs that day.
That's right.
Yes.
So, Miss Teresa, so tell us about the Charge Up campaign and some of the things you all are doing in the community. It's a great program.
Oh, thank you so much. So again, I started Charge Up campaign because my mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I was in college at the time. Well, I was in college at the time, and I recognized that we were so focused on my mom and trying to save her life that we forgot about my mom, just my mom, and we began to see a lot of mental health changes in her. And my background is in social work, so. Moving forward, what we ended up doing was sending her down to Florida and giving her pretty much time away from us. And she had a great time. So she came back charged up. She came back in a yellow shirt. She didn't have a scarf on her head. First time seeing her curls, all of that. She came back charged up. And the smile that she had on her face really pushed me to say, I want to see more women and men charged up the same way and feeling good about the life that they have today. So with Charge Up, that's what we're all about. We're focusing on the mental health side of it all, and really having events that are fun and about them, about the individual, and not just about numbers and about the cancer itself. We host pajama jams, which are very fun. We have a good time with those. We do everything there. Yes. We host a lot of different types of events, but we also, put together self-care packages and things of that nature that will go over to Grady and go over to the Cancer Treatment Center, Hope Lodge, different places that house some of our patients. So we do a lot of that. The other thing that we do, and I really love, is that we have these greeting cards. We call them Charge Up cards, and each event that we have, people write little messages in these cards. And those cards go out to individuals who may be feeling not so good that day. So they'll open up those cards and have a message from any one of these ladies. Exactly. It pushes them keep going. And
Charges them up.
Right, it does. It charges them up, and so we love giving those cards out and giving them to the ladies. So we have our Pink Champagne Gala that we do.
We're going to have to come to
You
that.
guys have to be there. Everybody has to be there.
We have to be
Sign us up.
It is a beautiful event. It's an evening of celebration of life.
Awesome.
We have a good time. We celebrate these ladies. Other nonprofits. I know we're a 501c3, but we're not the only ones out here in the streets trying to support others. There are other organizations, and we want to support them as well. So we honor them, caregivers as well, because I'm a caregiver, and caregivers, I call them the silent warriors. So we make sure that we're honoring them as well. So Charge Up is definitely out here charging up the community and charging up our warriors, our survivors, and our conquerors.
Well, thank you.
I
We
wanna
are so
thank you.
glad
Thank
to
you
have
so
you all
much.
here.
I want to say this. I met you guys when I was a host at a fashion
Yes.
show.
Yes.
And the one thing that really drew me closer to you was the fact that you take care of the caregivers.
Yes.
Like you said, the caregivers that's the silent
Yeah,
warrior.
that's the silent warrior.
Yeah.
Because they go through a
And
lot
I
as
share
well.
this with
That's
you.
right.
Cancer
My
too?
mother had passed away last year from stage 4 lung cancer, and I took care of her for 15 months.
Yeah.
And she was wiped out of chemo, and there was no organization, even for cancer patients, to go out and have fun and recharge.
Right.
You know, and as far as the caregiver as well.
Yeah.
So I just really commend you. I wish that there was something like this organization back home when I was going through this with my mom.
And you know, and even after you're still going through, you still as a caregiver.
Yeah.
So we invite you over to
Well,
to have fun and charge up with us.
We would love to volunteer and help
Yeah.
you
Oh,
all
yeah.
in anything.
Awesome.
So definitely
Awesome.
we will keep in contact with you all after the show is over. We just
Yeah.
want to give you all a little something. I have made some of these breast cancer ribbons. And the proceeds from the breast cancer ribbons that I was able to collect. Thank you to shout out to a lot of my coworkers. You all know who you are that contributed to it, and it's just a little check in there and to support you all's cause.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so
Awesome.
much.
Yes.
I appreciate
Love
it.
and Hips Cares.
Love and
Hips
for being an
Always.
advocate for women all over the
Always.
world. I really appreciate you, ladies.
Awesome.
And keep us updated because I would love to come to the gala.
Yes.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and anything that y'all have going on in the
Yeah.
community.
Right.
You know, we try to do a lot in the community. We're
Make sure you follow us on IG. Yeah, follow us individually.
yes.
That's
I
right.
checked out
That's
y'all's
right.
beautiful website and everything. So
Gorgeous.
awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
And Shaquita made a great point. I definitely want everyone to follow our ambassadors and everyone that's a part of Charge Up, because we are an organization of individuals doing great things in the community. They're out here speaking. They're putting, the awareness out there, all of them. So we definitely want to make sure that people are seeing our ambassadors, and that's why I wanted to bring them out here. It wasn't just about Teresa coming.
Thank
So,
you.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Look, the
much.
more the merrier.
Yeah.
I love it, okay?
Before y'all
Thank
go, I do want y'all to just tell the viewers, what signs or anything that they need to look for
Yes,
to be
please.
aware of, so they'll know. You have to be aware, know the signs.
I think for me personally, I think just knowing your body, I think that's very important. Sometimes I did a speaking engagement this weekend, and that was one of the things that the lady said, that she didn't like to touch herself. She was unfamiliar with her body. And so when you are familiar, you know when something is wrong, when something is not right. So for me, for example, I started with nipple pain, and that's not necessarily always a sign of breast cancer. But I did have nipple pain, and it just didn't feel right to me. It was something abnormal. So I'm glad that I keyed in on that and decided to go and schedule my mammogram. And that's another thing, having your mammogram is so very important because it had been 3 years since I had a mammogram. So it was since 2015, and I didn't go. You get caught up in life, motherhood, wife, working, and we tend to forget ourselves. So I had to really find that sense of normalcy again to be able to balance life and now being a cancer survivor. So nipple pain is one, dimpling, discharge. Swelling, any type of abnormal lumps that show up on one side and it's not on the other. Those are a few things. Rashes could be one.
Okay.
And then I don't know if you know any other.
For me, it was severe exhaustion.
Oh yeah,
So,
be extremely fatigued. Yes.
Extreme. When I say extreme, like the only thing I had the energy to do was take my butt to work and come home, and I would sleep the entire weekend.
Oh,
and this was like for about
wow.
3 months before I was officially diagnosed. And unlike Shaquita, I had never had a mammogram before. I was 38 at diagnosis.
Oh, wow.
So, I had 2 more years before it was officially recommended that I do
Right.
so. So, at the end of the day, that exhaustion was really my body trying to battle this massive tumors
Tumor.
that were growing is what the doctor told me. She
You
was
know-
like, your body was fighting.
And that's what people
And it
need to
was
do. They need to
pulling
make
all
sure they
your
listen
energy.
to their body. Listen
Yes.
to your body.
Yes.
It's going to tell you something's wrong.
That's right.
Yeah.
It is. It just takes us
Yeah.
to pay attention to it because we
Right.
have a tendency to push
Yep.
it under the rug. Oh, it's all right. It'll go
We'll
away
check it
tomorrow.
later.
We'll
It's
check
not
it
gonna
later.
go away.
It's not going to
Right.
go away. 9 times out of 10, it's going to
Yep.
get progressively worse. So,
Yes.
so listen to your body. It's going to tell you something's
Yeah.
wrong. That's the way
Yeah.
God. That's the way
Yes.
God designed it.
Right.
But thank thank you
Thank
for
you
being
guys
on
for
the
coming.
show
Thank
with
you
us,
so
ladies.
much.
Do y'all have time to hang out, or do you all have to run? If not, then y'all can hang on the couch. We're gonna welcome
over
the
a couple
callers.
things.
You all can call in our topic today. Obviously, we're talking to the ladies from breast cancer about breast cancer awareness from Charge Up Campaign, and then we got our hot topic coming up. So you all can call in and comment if y'all got questions. Y'all got questions for the ladies about breast cancer. You can certainly ask anything about that, and then we'll talk about our hot topic as well. So let me go ahead and give you all the number. It's 470-251-4647. 470-251-4647. So you all are welcome to call in during this segment at any time.
Yes.
And we're going to answer you all's questions and let the ladies answer questions. We might be able to help somebody today. Okay? That's what this show is about.
We gonna save a life today.
Right now, we're gonna cut to some fun because I'm telling y'all, we cut up this weekend. Love and
we
Hip.
did.
We should have a segment. Love and Hip cuts up, honey, because that's what we did this weekend. We let loose in Nashville, so we're gonna tell y'all.
Wow.
Girls gone wild, Lord. Look at us, y'all.
Oh my
Look
goodness!
at us.
Woo! Cowgirl style. Yes.
Yes, that was.
We was cowgirls.
We brought it to Nashville. Shout out to Nashville. We told y'all.
We
told
fit
y'all
right
y'all
in.
wasn't
We
ready.
just fit right in.
We had on our Stetsons.
We had on our steps. We had on our steps. My cowgirl.
And our boots.
Yes, we did that. We had a good time. We painted the town, y'all. So,
Yes, we did.
after
We checked out some rooftops.
They never seen as much hips.
They were just putting their hands on Dakota's. Hips, because they were just like, oh, let me just get some. And she just kept telling everybody that she was Atlanta fed, cornbread fed.
It was cornbread fed.
cornbread fed.
Everybody was just, they had to get a little piece.
Not in Nashville. They were.
Don't ever let nobody tell you can't mix business and pleasure, honey, because that is a lie. I tell you, it's a lie.
Yes, we had so much fun.
I just enjoy Broadway Street.
Oh my God.
Oh, my
Clearly,
goodness.
she wanted to go to
It was
Everything.
amazing.
spot on Broadway.
This girl
Yes.
was like, we ain't stopping till we go to 6 rooftops.
And
These
we-
6. These two.
We did it.
Who was ready to tap out?
My
This one
eyelids
right
were
here.
just closing. My eyeballs were just rolling in the back of my head. But I was still moving my feet. I was just like following the crowd. Following the crowd.
So she did her research, right?
Man,
Look at our rooftop. Look at all the people that were there. It was amazing. Look at all the hats. Look at all the cowboy hats.
Cowboy hats, ready.
Everybody was just.
Song.
So there were a lot of rooftop bars.
Yes.
One after had a rooftop, one after another. Boom, boom, boom.
4 or 5 levels.
Honey, I didn't even know Nashville was doing it like that.
Yes.
But honey, they was. But what it was is they had
The homecoming game.
Vanderbilt. So there was a homecoming. So Vanderbilt and Mizzou. So Vanderbilt won. So that's why the town went crazy.
The town went crazy.
We
Yes.
went crazy with them.
Yes.
We did,
I have on
honey.
my orange. I'm representing Tennessee.
Yes, there you go. Yeah.
I went in the corner and tried to go to sleep. That's what I wanted.
She did.
I'm not Dakota. I'm sorry, Toy. We were. What was it? You that was in the elevator? We were just turned up
We
everywhere.
were
Elevator,
turned up
in
on the
that
street.
A while in the
Yeah.
elevator,
Oh,
too.
Dakota. That was Dakota. That we started a little
I kinda
chant.
started a chant.
Chant.
Yes, the rooftop chant.
Do we
Yes,
got
we
that?
have a video for that as
We
well.
have that clip.
I think we have that clip.
Yes,
The elevator clip.
we have an elevator clip.
Another girl, Love and Hips Gone Wild.
Oh my God. I'm telling you. Boy, we just have, I don't know if we have that one, but, oh, there it goes.
Oh my goodness.
Listen. We going to the roof?
Look at Anna. She just next top model right there. Next top model. Look at her. Did you?
Do you guys see my eyeballs?
We going to the roof?
she was too much. I was handling the elevator. I was trying to hurry get off. They jumping up and down the elevator. I'm like, wait a minute.
So there's our clip, y'all. We had them on the
That was
elevator.
after a
holler
couple
about,
shots of tequila.
We going to
Okay.
the rooftop. We going to the rooftop.
And again, I wish I could
Yes.
because I was doing it like.
And then Tua, you were like, the roof is on fire.
They had too much fun for me.
Yes. And then the elevator doors just opened up, and we just were
Don't believe her right here, because she didn't turn down all the way. Because when I thought she was out of juice, I came downstairs where she was on the next level below, and she was in it. I said, oh yeah, you got your second win.
They were playing my music. They
Yes.
were listening to their other stuff. I don't know that.
Yeah, it was the country
Everybody,
stuff.
She was charged up.
I was sleepy. I was tired. I was ready to go. Tap out.
Yeah.
Call me an Uber. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, we had to
Lord
like
have
pinch
mercy.
ourselves and just stay up because we had some Nathan hot dogs. Yes.
They did.
Little snacks. Yes.
I was filled to the brim. I couldn't put nothing else in my system, Shad. I was like, y'all go on with y'all hot dogs. I'm gonna let y'all do y'all
And it
stuff.
was raining. It was sprinkling.
It was sprinkling.
Yeah.
No, honey.
It was sprinkling, honey. It was.
Yeah, it really was.
Y'all,
Because my hair was completely curly when I got to the hotel. It was
we had
completely
so much
curly.
fun, but y'all, we have to take a short break and a short commercial break
Okay.
segment,
Yes.
and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna talk about our hot topic and go ahead and take a couple
ready.
calls. and
Callers,
talk
get
about
ready
the
to
topic for
call.
the day. So if y'all get ready to call in.
Get ready.
470-251-4647.
I do have one thing
down.
to say.
Yes.
ATO hottest. Don't forget
That's
to vote
right.
for my sister Kim and I for the best full-figured model.
All right.
The
High five, sister.
deadline.
High five, sister.
The deadline to vote is November the 10th. So that's ATLhottest.com.
All right.
And go to Full Figure Model and
Full-figure
click
model.
Dakota Sheree or
Yes.
Kimberly
Yes.
Cunningham.
That's right.
Yes, guys. Commercial
So we got
break.
Commercial
Commercial time.
We got commercial break.
time, and then we will be back with you.
Do you remember when we fell in love?
Who kids are them? She said those are baby kids.
Safe, and you want to be safe. There is no smoking you out of this comfortable.
We fall down, but we get up.
So we are back with Love and
Hey,
Hips, and
hello.
we are ready to talk about our hot topic. So y'all saw how much fun we had in Nashville. So the next time we plan the trip, we're gonna let y'all know in advance, and y'all can come out and join us, honey. Come and
Yes.
cut up with us. Love and Hips cuts up. Go on and tell them about the hot topic for the day, sis. Let's get this thing
We're
going.
getting it started. All right, ladies. Topic of the day is
Oh, boy.
Come on now,
how
topic
many
today.
women can admit that they were in a faithful relationship to a man that didn't deserve it.
Oh, hell.
And we can flip it. You
Now we
know,
can flip it. It could be a man, or a
man
woman,
that wasn't
yeah.
a woman that wasn't deserving. So tell us
Say
about
that
it.
one more time.
Speak on
Okay, how many women and men can admit to being faithful, committed in a relationship to a person that was not treating them good? They didn't deserve it at all. Can you still be faithful
I have
in
plenty
a
of
relationship
those.
to a person that you know that's not treating you right?
Oh, honey, I'm leaving.
Can you?
Like Chris said, Michelle, I'm leaving.
And no turning back,
No
right?
turning back.
That's kind of like a hard situation.
I mean, I had a
because
couple
don't know if I
of those.
could
Yeah,
be
I had a
faithful and
couple
committed
of
to
those
somebody.
relationships where you just commit yourself, and then you think that you're fully in this relationship, and you guys are both committed to
Right.
each other, and then the other party, is committed to you and 100 other parties. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Kinda
So
hard.
and then you're not, and then you feel like you've been betrayed because you are giving them your all, and then they're not giving you their all. So yeah.
I mean, oftentimes it happens like not in the beginning of the relationship. Things start to go awry or go astray, so to speak, after a while. So then you're already fully vested. So it's like, what am I supposed to do in this situation? So you try to work it out and you try to do your thing. But you know what I'm saying? after a while, the light bulb does come on, and you're like, look here, I'm not gonna handle this no more. And it does make you go outside of the relationship to seek other options until either the relationship comes to a close.
But when you're in love, it's
or
just
you all are
crazy,
both in
you
a
know?
relationship doing whatever y'all want to, and it's not
Just
really a
open.
relationship. It's
Yeah.
an open relationship at that point.
Yeah.
You know.
You said something good on that, because a lot of people, they will stay in a relationship. I done invested so much, so now you're settled.
You said
Yeah.
yeah.
And they don't
Feel
want to do
like-
it again.
You feel like you can't get
Right.
anyone better.
Or you feel like you just don't want to try to do this process over again with
You might
nobody
have-
else. That's
you-
a process.
Try to figure it out. And just figure it out.
You might have to go to Home Depot and get you a new light bulb.
Check your bulb, honey. Check your bulb.
Get you a flashlight,
Look, you might find
Get you something else.
a floodlight, something. Just
So have
let's go.
You
yeah.
might find a sexy guy down the aisle, Home Depot.
Okay.
You might, because they sure do look,
This one
and
right
that's
here,
where you find them at Home Depot. The
Girl.
handyman, find you a handyman.
This
Yes.
one right here got her, but keeps her binoculars on her at all times, honey. She don't never miss
know.
no man.
Oh, my God.
I don't miss
She don't miss a beat when
I
it
don't
comes
miss
to her.
nothing.
Like,
Uh-uh.
my eyes is wide
I go-
open.
Not
my
Dakota Cherie,
I go with my
Cherie.
gut.
And
So-
that,
and they'll tell you,
I'll be
yeah.
right.
and that good
And
never
look,
lies.
and I'll be ready to tell you the door.
The door.
Not the roof this time, not the roof, the
To the
door.
left, to the left.
At the door.
So have you ladies ever experienced that, or have you ever went through any type of thing, that type of situation in any of your relationships?
I would just say I have.
Okay.
And mine's end up being a domestic violence situation.
Oh,
So,
wow, okay.
Yeah, and as you stated that you don't see the signs, well, I think there were signs at the beginning,
Yeah.
And we
and
just
maybe there were
ignored them,
signs
yeah.
that I kind of ignored.
Right. Like we all tend to do.
Yeah, so
Oh, caller. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
This is Love and Hips. How can I help you?
Yes, this is Eunice.
Hi, Eunice. Eunice is our number one fan guy.
Yes. Number one.
Faithful.
Faithful fan. So spill the beans.
I want to answer your question. Yes, I have been into a relationship. And I was married to this person. 6 months into the marriage, I found out how unfaithful he was.
Wow.
So at that point, though, Eunice, it's like,
What do you do?
what do you do?
Right.
Yeah.
Do you
How do you-
stay?
Because when you're married, it's a little different than just a
What do you-
relationship.
what do you- because a marriage is
I
not-
was ready to go, but we both were very active in the church.
Oh.
And
Pastor Wilson.
the
Was it
mothers
Pastor
of the
Wilson's church?
It wasn't
told
Pastor
me
Wilson,
that-
was it?
Eunice, Lord have mercy.
Eunice was a Pastor Wilson.
We cannot show that video on Love and Hips.
No, we can't.
I'm sorry, Eunice. Go ahead, dear.
You know we don't have a filter, Eunice.
Eunice?
Well, I was just through. I was through because I thought he was really, I had been 15 years by myself, as a single woman.
That's just
And
horrible.
so when I figured when I found him, by him being an older man, it was different.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
That's what attracted her, them old men. Get you a young one, boo.
The older ones are the same.
She said,
That's
oh.
It just depends on the maturity in your, character.
Everything we go through in life is a learning experience.
Yes,
So,
Lord.
But you have to do what's best for you.
That's
Regardless
right.
of what
That's
people
right.
telling
That's
you
right.
to stay and everything.
Definitely don't
To
do
keep your sanity, you have to move.
You definitely
Move
can't.
on.
That's right. You definitely can't listen to all of them ears and stuff in your voice. I mean, all them people in your ear, because you got people, all them voices in your ear. Left and right. Stay, go. I wouldn't do. You really got to do what's best for you in that situation
right.
and what you feel like you're gonna be able to. Sometimes it's not always necessary to run out of the relationship. It might not be. It might be something that triggered.
Right.
That person to do something. So
You
in
gotta
a
communicate.
marriage union, you can
gotta
definitely communicate and see if y'all can try to work it out.
So
but
what
if it's
did-
not salvageable, you gotta let it go.
So what did you do, Eunice? You get into the curb.
I just packed my stuff and left out.
There you go.
Good job.
That was a gangster
Good
move.
job.
Yes.
I would have did the same thing, Eunice.
You understand?
That's right,
Well, Eunice, we want to thank you so much for calling in.
And being faithful.
And being faithful. We love you for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eunice.
All
We
right.
deserve your loyalty.
Have a
Bye.
good night.
Love you.
You too.
We want to be
Bye.
used.
Love you too.
Bye-bye.
Love and hits cares. Well, yeah, that wraps
Any
up
more
that pretty much
callers?
Our topic for the relationship topic, honeys.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, you stay or you go. That's the end
That's
of the question.
right.
You stay or you go.
It is.
Life's too short to stay in anything miserable.
That's right. And you can be blocking your blessing.
You really
There
can.
could be another man
really
out
can.
there, another woman out
Right
there
there.
that, you know.
Is there anybody else that wants to call in? We have
There's
some
always
viewers here.
another, honey. It's just trying to
Tell me
find that
call
needle in the
Come
haystack.
on, Rome
Yeah.
Walker. He's watching.
Give him a
Anthony
shout out.
Caldwell. Okay. Because you know I'm going to call you
Call
now.
him
Hips.
Hi, ladies. This is Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
Hey, hey.
Hey.
Y'all left me in Nashville.
Oh, man.
Still here kicking it.
You're the rooftop.
Oh.
We sorry.
Yeah.
You that man we had to walk away from, Charlie.
Right.
Bring me
Right,
some ribs
right.
back. Bring me some ribs.
So, yes. So, the city of Nashville really
had us
enjoyed
with
you
the
guys
tequila.
yesterday. So,
Great.
it was, and it's always just an honor to be working with you ladies on events like this. I mean, everybody I talk to just really adore you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We
So
enjoy
with
it.
that said, I have a really cool assignment for you guys for the next show.
We are ready.
Simon.
Yeah.
Always got some
I'm ready
So,
now.
so this time I want you guys to get you guys taste buds ready. Because
Oh,
yes,
I'm ready.
because
I'm
you're
hungry
gonna
now.
sink your teeth-
These
you
hips.
guys are going to sink your teeth in a platinum, you ready for this?
Ready.
Crab cake.
Oh,
Wait a minute,
platinum?
you said a
Platinum crab?
That's a platinum crab cake.
Platinum crab cake.
Oh,
We all coming.
That's right.
We all coming.
Then Charlie,
Wow.
you gonna have a whole bunch of extra people up in the studio with us, honey, trying to get something.
Absolutely. You guys will
Wow.
have the Guinness Book World Record holder,
Oh.
Ken Walker from
Okay.
South Carolina,
Okay.
will
Wow.
be
That's
in the
awesome.
building, and
South
he will be
South
allowing you guys to taste a platinum crab cake.
I'm ready.
Oh, my mouth is watering, Charlie.
Can I get samples? Right now.
Yes.
Get ready.
Oh, my God. That is
We're
so
ready.
We
exciting.
ready.
We're ready for our
Yes.
next
We always
guest.
ready. Charge up said they ready too.
That's right. Charge Up is ready.
Absolutely.
Everybody ready on live? Yes.
So with that said,
They
I'm
are.
Charlie, and I'm out.
All right.
All
Well,
right,
thank
guys.
you everyone that's tuned
Thank
in
y'all.
tonight.
That concludes our
at
show.
Loving Hips. Thanks for the ladies of the Charge Up campaign for coming
Thank you, ladies,
out.
so much.
Thank you to the city of Nashville for letting us paint y'all's town yesterday.
It's
And
moving.
we are ready for our next show. You all tune in to Loving Hips TV.
Yeah.
All right.
And check out additional videos.
Animalistic for attraction. What else could it be? Said your vision isn't hazy.